All right, I'm going to give you guys the secret to preventing running injuries that slow you down or make you stop running. Hi everyone, Steve Gonzo, physical therapist with Run Smart Online. I help runners get back to running faster, whether it's literally faster or just getting back on the roads after injury. I want to share something with you that I think will make a lot of sense, but also help you. Whether you're injured or not, this will make a difference for you because here's the real fact. 80% of runners are pretty much injured every single year, so you will come across this at some point. Real quick before I get started, if you want help with your running, go to the link in this post and check out the Run Smart app. We have a ton of stuff there to help improve your running and accomplish your goals. So what I'm going to tell you about today is this runner who was in this week, and I drew these two numbers on the board and asked, do you know what they mean? And she looked at one and goes, well, that one's probably 6 months. And I said, do you know what that one represents? And she said, no. I said, that's how long you've been here, and you're really frustrated that you're not getting better, but let me just put this in here for you, is that you've been running on this thing for 180 days. And then she said, at least. And I said, you've given me 40 days to fix this. When you go longer and longer with a running injury, it takes time to slow that speeding train down and then get it going back in the right direction, get it back on the right track. And truthfully, like a simple graph, this isn't very scientific, but the longer you go, this is like time since the injury started, so time of onset, all right? And I'm gonna write time to get better, TB, time to get better on this side. As time of onset keeps going, you keep running on things, it takes longer and longer for things to get better and get back to running. So I want to teach you some things that you can do to prevent this from happening, and whether you think so or not, there are times where you have to stop running because things need to heal. So interesting thing about running injuries is that often they start off very slow, and they start off as like a little nagging thing that you can run through. And that nagging thing gets a little bit more. Typically what I hear is, you know, I used to, it was fine, I could run on it, but it got better as I ran, and then it finally, it got better as I ran, and then it turned into, well, if I run every other day, it's okay, and then it's every 2 days or every 3 days, and then they realize, like, oh my God, like I'm just not running anymore. And what's happening with there is you're running yourself out of running at that point, and every day that you get sore, you're breaking down tissue. So you gotta remember, like most of your muscles and tendons and joints, they break down, and the body's role is to be really excited to come in and heal that. But if you keep going out for a run, you keep bashing into it, you just keep breaking it down, breaking it down, breaking it down. And truthfully, after like 6 months, it's pretty clear that the body stops trying to heal itself. So you need to find some strategies to jumpstart that, and there's a lot of things out there that you can do. But how do you know when you should stop, right? Because I hear this all the time, like if I didn't run when I wasn't sore, I would never run. And that's truthfully pretty true for a lot of runners, especially the ones that I work with, who are over the age of 40 and 50 and 60, even 70 years old. Like there's times when you're gonna be sore, but you can run through it, and there's times where you should really pull back. So how do you know when it's time to pull back so you can avoid this and avoid the frustration? Because the secret to successful running, whether it's just for fun, whether it's to run faster every single year, or whatever your goals are, the secret, especially as you get older, is to consistency. What we wanna do is make sure that we don't have a running system that looks like this, where you're running along, you're injured, and then you play catch up really quick, you're running along, you're injured. What we want is a nice, smooth type of running where you're consistently running throughout the year. And let me tell you, your family would probably prefer you if you're running throughout the year and not super frustrated, at least like you are when you see me in the clinic. So what do you need to know? How do you know, like, okay, it is time to give this thing some space? Because early on, and I talk about this a lot, is most injuries will turn around in 2 weeks. I did a video series not too long ago where my quad was bruised because I pulled it so bad, and I got back on the roads within 10 days because I allowed the body to heal it. Unfortunately, most runners don't do that. So how do you know when to pull back? And it really comes down to this: when your symptoms start interfering with the rest of your life. So if you're out for a run, you're like, yeah, but my knees are always kind of sore and aching. Well, how would I do outside of that? Well, I mean, like, it's just kind of always there. It's just kind of the same. That would be a sign of like, okay, you probably have some things, aging related things going on in your knees. Let's just keep running through that. But when you start off and you're like, you know, I was running really good for a bit, and then my knees hurt, but they only, like once I got going, they felt good, but then they hurt a lot afterwards. Or I originally, all I couldn't do was run. I could walk, I could do stairs, I could do all these different exercises, but as soon as I started running, I got sore. That's a red flag that you're probably going in the wrong direction. And then when it starts to drift backwards into your life, so stairs used to not hurt, but now they hurt. And walking didn't hurt, but now I'm really stiff when I walk too long. And it really goes down to like a functional scale like this. So very, very simple. If you go from nothing all the way up to running, and I'm just going to put some arbitrary things in here. Let me make sure I'm on camera still. Nothing up to running. Things like biking is here. Let's say walking is here. And then stairs. And I'm going to put lunging here. So this is a little bit of a hierarchy of functional movement based that works really well for runners. When you get to the point where you're like, yeah, but I'm only sore when I'm running. But then it starts to hurt doing stairs. So now this starts to hurt. Well, now if I sit for too long, I get up, it's like, ooh, like I have to hobble a little bit. You're going in the wrong direction. If it starts to hurt to walk, you're going in the wrong direction. There's certainly a difference between an everyday ache and an impending injury, and you should know that, because whether you realize it or not, well, you should realize it now, that the instant you start damaging tissue, whether it's your tendons, your plantar fascia, your joints, your muscles, that breakdown, when the breakdown starts, that's when your body's most excited to heal. Unfortunately, you're like most runners and you say, shut up, knee, I'm going to run on you today, you'll be fine, and that kind of ruins things. But this is a system that we use quite a bit. It's inside the Run Smart app called the Injury Management Protocol and Blueprint. But if you need help with running and you want to get back out on the roads, you want to get back to running faster, either literally or figuratively, check out the link in this post and check out the Run Smart app. All right, guys, I hope you all have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.